Good evening, comrades. I'm going to take you through my favorite types of pistols, hammer-fired pistols. And the only reason is I can see everything that's going on and I can control everything that's going on. And striker fires just don't work as good as my hammer fire. They shoot better, in my opinion, and I'm going to go through the different types of hammer-fired pistols that you may run into while you're shopping. And I'm going to go over my favorites. He'll always be the 1911, best shooter ever shot. And this is a single action only type of pistol. And what single action only means is when I pull this trigger, only one action happens, drops my hammer and she fires. Single action. And then it's gonna go back and we're gonna continue until I'm out of ammo. There's two safeties on this, your thumb safety and your grip safety, basically while you're squeezing. So you have to have a full squeeze in order for this pistol to fire, because if the safety is, say, off, it will not release the hammer unless you are squeezing the grip safety on this particular pistol. Another good thing, I think, it does stop the hammer from dropping, but stopping the slide as well. So say if anything for some reason hits your firing pin and shoots your round off, it stops your pistol from loading another round from the magazine. And the trigger pull will be the same every time on a single action only. Leave that off to the side. I'm gonna bring out an old style gun before I bring out the newer version. This is a double action, single action safety. Best way to describe it, this is the old school way of double action mode before it became easier. And this is a CZ75. But double action, single action means that it's gonna go through two modes. It has two modes for itself, meaning you can either carry it double action or single action. So here's your 1911 cocked and locked with the safety on. This has a safety. This is not a decocker, it's only a safety. So in order to decock it, we take the safety off. You will put your finger in between here, covering the firing pin, pull the trigger, and then release the trigger so it will fall into the locked half-cock position. And now you are in double action mode, where your safety will not work. Double action means the first action will pull your hammer all the way back, and then once you reach a certain wall, that second action will release the hammer. Kind of like the old school double action revolvers. So bang. As soon as it reaches its point, it will release, and there's your two actions. After that fire goes, now you are in single action mode all the way through your mag until you put it in that double action mode. And that takes forever to get to. So gladly, it's not the best thing, but some people may like it. But the reason why that is no longer a thing is people were not doing it right. And if you slip and don't let go of the trigger to lock it up, boom, you shoot your pistol. So I would definitely tell you to stay away from those if you're a beginner. These are the new styles. This is a Beretta, and it has a decocker instead of a safety. So same situation, only you're not messing with the hammer. Instead, it will move your firing pin and drop your hammer. Watch that again. And then let go, and you're in fire. That's a G model decocker. On the older models of the Beretta, you were able to put it in safe mode. But I think this one's better because on the ones with the safe modes, as you're shooting, you would accidentally put it in safety. Don't want that, so I'm glad they changed it. This puts you in fire, same thing though. Hard trigger pull, first shot, and then fire. Then it's gonna go back and you're in single action all the way until, you know, you put it back in a double action. I like these better than, you know, say a striker fire, because say you have all those hang-ups and those possible holster malfunctions from people trying to holster fast. Always supposed to watch your holster, but you know, it's good to have this double action feature because as I holster, I can keep my thumb there. So look, no matter what, that hammer's not moving unless my thumb's there, and then I can pull the trigger. So definitely top list for my double action, single action for those that are experienced, because if you're a new shooter, I'm gonna tell you this, those 2 trigger pulls and trying to get used to it as a beginner is gonna waste so much time than you going with a single action only and understand that and get really good at that trigger, because those triggers will always be the same. It'll always be right where you remember it, instead of trying to figure out, you know, the 1-2 where the next one's a single action. I recommend beginners to go with a single action only. It is safer and it's easier, in my opinion. That way, once you get good at this, become expert at that, you can move on and start training onto the more in-depth mechanisms that they got going on nowadays. And I'm a better shooter with the single action only. Double action will always be tricky because every pistol has a different weight to it, so not all double action, single actions have the same first trigger pull. So I hope I helped you guys out with your ventures in pistols, but I do say hammer fired pistols beat striker fire all day, every day. Have a good night.